The time is just gone 8:33 a.m. on News and Views this morning as we continue, and it's time now to look at the State Capture Inquiry Report. We know Volume 1 of the report has been released after spending millions and millions. Finally, we have got some insight as to what Volume 1 contains. And to discuss this report, we're joined by Vytjie Mentor, who is Action SA's Western Cape leader. Vytjie, good morning to you. Thank you very much and welcome. We appreciate you taking time out and talking to us this morning.
Good morning and good morning to your listeners. Thank you for having me.
Yes, obviously, just looking at the report and just your initial reaction now that this Volume 1 of this report has been released, Vytjie.
My reaction is such that I can't personally wait for the last two trashes of the report to come out. I am encouraged by the fact that the report suggests a number of people to be prosecuted, and I hope that Ms. Jamila Bertoli will do what she has to do and do it very quickly. South Africa has been waiting for a very, very long time for these people to see the grey wolf inside of a jail. And I'm also very excited about the recommendation of a special tribunal as well as court for addressing corruption. And I hope that the real people who are not cadres will be deployed there.
Yes. Now, we've seen, obviously, one of the key issues that stand out is the spotlight or the radar is aimed at the ANC. And where we've seen the State Capture Inquiry Report noting that the ANC and its government have done absolutely nothing to stop the decline of state institutions. That, for me, is a standout feature of the report, Vytjie.
Yes, it is a staring and striking, standing out issue about the report. And we all knew it, and we all saw it. So I don't know why the state did absolutely nothing. I actually, I was perplexed when I was watching the President Ramaphosa at the state capture, very cordial, very relaxed, laughing, as if he is not part of the people and the system of the ANC and government that allowed state capture to go on and much as whistleblower after whistleblower after whistleblower were shouting from the top of the hills to say that things are going wrong, and then they didn't lift a finger to do anything or to stop the rot.
Well, that's quite an observation you've made, Vytjie, particularly looking at President Cyril Ramaphosa and the manner with which he's responded, because at the end of the day, there are many individuals, and when one looks at the ANC's deployment committee, they've come under scrutiny. They've endorsed individuals who presided over the capture of the state and its entities. And President Cyril Ramaphosa was very much a part of the government where all these individuals were being endorsed.
Exactly. He was also part of the ANC that protected Zuma. He was part of the parliament. He never voted using his conscience. Whichever way the ANC voted from the number of vote of no confidence that tabled in parliament, he voted in favor of against the vote of confidence, which means in favor of what President Zuma was continuing to do, which is not to lead the state properly and to allow the capture to continue.
Yes, and obviously this is now also an indictment on the ANC, because what the commission has done is they found that the ANC themselves benefited from the proceeds of corruption.
Definitely. It's an indictment on the ANC, and I hope as a party also, eventually the report would say something about the political party that was their key facilitator of state capture and what must happen to it. I mean, there has been a video clip circulating recently in which a voice that is clearly the voice of Mr. Ramaphosa is saying that he would rather fall on his sword in terms of the CR17 money instead of let it be known that the ANC accessed and used state money for its conference, which is the conference that elected him president. So it's not a secret. We didn't even need a state capture to know that the ANC is indicted, but it's good that it's now coming from a judicial commission of inquiry that has legal standing.
Yes. Now, the fact of the matter is, we know that, Vytjie, there have been millions that have been basically spent to get to where we are as far as this report is concerned. And we know that a lot more is due to come out. The key issue is value for money. Is this going to be money well spent? Because this is what the nation is looking at. Looking at people in orange overalls, in orange uniforms to be entered into South Africa's prison system, because this is what the first volume of this report is also talking. They're talking to the NPA, they're telling them to consider and to seriously consider prosecutions, and also talking about individuals and firms that have been implicated in state capture.
Yes, hopefully we will see value for money at the end of the day. Not only people going to jail, but us retrieving as much as we can. Because South Africa, we do have systems in which we can interlink. The financial system in the world or of the world is interlinked. There is, if there is will, there is way to retrieve. Even if we do not retrieve 100%, but we can retrieve a significant amount of money if there is will to do so. But what puzzles me is the NPA and all other law enforcement agencies have been sitting on their, I don't want to use a word that is disrespectful to your audience, but on their bottoms, doing nothing, not getting ready for the eventuality where the report comes, where people must go to jail, where money must be retrieved. So we are sitting just where we are, if not worse. The law enforcement agencies, if not more corrupt, they're not better off than they were 10 years ago. I mean, for the Hawks to grab this issue of the burning of Parliament and run with it and tell us that it's a mere citizen, ordinary citizen, and it's mere us, when the crime actually is very heinous and it's tantamount to domestic terrorism and it's also tantamount to treason. So you can see that there's never been, and there is never going to be any seriousness in terms of holding these people to corrupt and dragging them to jail as it should be.
Yes. Now, just looking at it from your perspective, looking at it from Action SA, and I know you've contested the local government elections, and you still need to make an impact on a national level. But just looking at it from an opposition perspective, opposition parties, and looking at how far, opposition parties are likely to take this report and the contents, and to take note of what is contained in this report to ensure that the recommendations and the findings of the state capture inquiry, are obviously going to be carried out, and more importantly, whatever the objective has been, that ultimately will be achieved.
I am very certain that Action SA will not just ignore this matter. In fact, our president is was still on vacation, but much as he's on vacation, he had requested to be forwarded the first trench. That shows that he is busy studying it, and that shows the seriousness in which we need to take this issue further, much as we are not yet in Parliament. Myself, once it was out, I spent the whole night reading the first report up to the following morning. So we are, I mean, these are the issues we have been talking about as Action SA, that there should be consequences for people that do wrong. And we have to break this thing of people do as they please and nothing ever happens. In fact, we have also done something about the issue of the July state of terrorism that visited our country. I don't know what they call it because they like to water down things. But what happened, that looting is not just mere looting, that covered KZ and Gauteng. That was very serious, and that is one matter that we have taken up and that we will be following on. I'm raising this issue because all these issues are interconnected.
Well, they certainly are related in some way or the other. And, looking at Action SA and also referring back to the local government elections where, the anti-corruption ticket, featured very, very prominently in your campaign. And I know there's been a fair amount of success, in terms of the outcome and, where Action SA has positioned itself in the South African political system, Vytjie.
Yes, we stand strongly on anti-corruption and clean governance and performing and clean public service. So there's no way we can deviate from that, and it will be a good starting point for us to address and make sure that the issues that come out of the report are paid attention to qualitatively and timelessly.
Well, thank you very much for that and for taking time out this morning, talking to us here at Salam Media, discussing Volume 1 of the State Capture Inquiry Report. We wish you all the best. We wish you safety, and please take care.
Thank you.
Vytjie Mentor joining us this morning, and she is the leader in the Western Cape for Action SA, and just some very, very interesting observations with regards to the state capture, and the spotlight is on the ANC government, and the report is very, very clear, saying that the ANC's deployment committee has come under scrutiny for endorsing individuals who presided over state capture, at the same time talking about seriously considering prosecutions against 20 individuals, or about 20 individuals and firms implicated in state capture, and this is around South African Airways, the Guptas, the New Age newspaper sponsorship, and also South African Revenue Services. So this is quite interesting. This is not going to go away, and I think the next few months are going to be extremely interesting in the South African political landscape. The time is just gone 8:45, and when we come back, it is going to be time for our Juma Inspirations. It is Juma Nasiha this morning.
A silent pandemic